The defense team is using the third-party culprit defense to challenge the prosecution's theory that the defendant was the person who committed the crime. Click the like button if you enjoy content like this. It would really help the YouTube algorithm. So thanks. What exactly is the third-party culprit defense and how does it work in practice? Let's get into it. Okay, so let's start with the video. So the video that you're about to see is going to be one of the defendant's attorneys performing opening statements. And yeah, let's just watch the video, and it's pretty self-explanatory, I believe. So here we go.
Most of reasons to lie. That the reason that she wanted security with Mr. Onfroy on the day that he was shot was because of the issues that he had with Drake and Migos. She's going to tell you that. Okay? Now, what issues did she have? There's issues where Migos was attacked by him, but the important thing is that the mom is going to tell you that that's why I wanted that security with him. Okay? So
the important thing he's saying is that this is the third party defense. Is there is his client, which is the defendant, and they're saying that there's this other person who could have potentially committed the crime. And that just so happened to be a very famous person in this case. And so that's why he's going to be requesting a deposition, so that he can parse out what other evidence out there that could link Drake to this murder. Whether or not he comes up with anything, we'll have to see it based on the deposition. We don't know yet.
do you think anybody's ever talked to them? No. And that's unacceptable.
Okay, so that's response. Now let's get into Drake's attorney's response. Okay.
At all.
So this is Drake's attorney responding to the request for deposition from the attorney that we just watched. And he's going to be referring to Mr. Graham, who is Drake.
At this point, I think you have a cooperating witness that corroborates that Mr. Graham has nothing to do with this case. Mr. Graham is not listed in any report. Mr. Graham, I don't believe has been discussed whatsoever in this case, to my knowledge, other than rumor and innuendo.
Has he been, so he's saying he hasn't been discussed in the case other than through rumor and innuendo. And this is this attorney's attempt to say that there's not foundation for this deposition, because you can't just subpoena anybody you want, have them come and testify. There has to be some kind of foundation laid that this deposition is going to essentially bring facts that are relevant to the case to trial. I have actually not seen the second video until just now. But I'm sure that kind of covers most of it. One side saying that this is relevant and that we should be able to depose Drake, and the other side saying that it's not relevant. Okay, so the third-party culprit defense is a legal strategy that allows a defendant to introduce evidence that another individual, not the defendant, committed the crime. This is often done by pointing the finger or introducing evidence that another individual or person could have had the motive, opportunity, and means to commit the crime. And this could be through, evidence. This could be through eyewitnesses. This could be through testimony, physical evidence, forensic analysis. They have to have a factual foundation, a legal foundation, and a factual foundation to show and to bring in Drake to be deposed, to show the court that he has some kind of relevant information for the court. The defense attorney has tried to show that Drake has a long-standing personal grudge against the victim, and that he had the opportunity to carry out the crime. And that specifically the victim, before he became deceased, had posted that if he were going to pass away, this would be likely Drake, Migos. But typically you do have to prove more than just motive and opportunity. You have to show some kind of link between the defendant and them being able to provide relevant information to the court. And that's what the defense's attorney in this case is trying to show. That is the purpose of the deposition. A deposition, in my eyes, is the attorneys are going to sit down and ask Drake questions, and that won't be a deposition live during the trial, but outside the trial. So I don't think maybe ever will get to see what happens in the deposition. That might be one of the agreements that they have for the deposition. Imagine if that happened and Drake were to have provided some information that was relevant, and then we got to see him in the trial. That would be pretty interesting. Whether or not they are successful, it remains to be seen. But you can see in the hands of a really skilled defense attorney, this is a really powerful defense. In this case, we've pulled into the middle of this trial one of the most famous people on the planet to essentially be supplanted in the middle of this trial because of this third-party culprit defense. If you're interested in the intricacies of trials and strategies like this used in defense cases or prosecution cases, be sure to stay tuned. We'll have more coming your way. If you have any questions or concerns, leave them in the comments. Feel free to put them down below. And thanks for watching. Later.